Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
Truly a sight to behold. The man beat the once great champ, now a study in moppishness. No longer the victory-hungry stallion we've raced so many times before, but a pathetic, washed-up, aged ex-champion.
All right, let's go.
I think you know the guy. And I think you know him pretty damn well. His name is
Izzy Presley.
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 What's my name? Say my name, bitch!
My good friend.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley. Ouch!
Izzy Presley. Whoa, that sounds a little weird.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley, the heaviest, girthiest rock DJ around.
Hey, this is Jeff LeBar. You listen to Izzy Presley. Those aren't pillows.
Hello, Las Vegas. Hello, world. Hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you and always good to be seen. My name is Izzy Presley. I'm the host of the program. It's called Another Effing Podcast. Welcome. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon here in Las Vegas. And getting ready to see Firehouse tonight. The goddamn Firehouse. My good friends in Firehouse. It's going to be a great show. Motley's playing in town. I'm probably not going to make that, as great as that would be. But speaking of great 80s rock, coming up in just a little bit, Jaime St. James from Black and Blue, talking about the new Black and Blue, 2 songs off the digital EP, 2 Song Bruiser. You can find that on Bandcamp. All of those links will be down underneath here. And check it out. It's really good. 2 songs. One is called Lifeline, and the other is called The Real Mr. Green. Songs that he wrote with Tommy way back 84 and 85, and they resurrected them and recorded them with the new band, and they're great. They're really, really good. They sound phenomenal. You're gonna hear a little bit of Lifeline in just a little bit. Hit up the Patreon, patreon.com/RealIzzyPresley. It's only $5 a month. That's all. It's only $5 a month. You'll be able to hear this show ad-free there. And by the time you hear this, by the time you watch this, it's already been up on the Patreon. So it's worth it. Plus all the exclusive content you get. I just did a show talking about the Charlie Sheen documentary, part 1. I'm going to do part 2 next week. I was going to do, and apologies to my Patreon folks, I went and saw Spinal Tap last night, and I was going to do a review on that, but I went to the 11 o'clock show, and it was 1:30 when I got home. I had to get to bed, I had to get up and work, and then I had to be back here this afternoon to record this great interview with Jaime St. James. So that's, if you're Patreon folks, if you're wondering where the review is, I'll probably get to it on Sunday. Big news, had a conversation on the phone with the esteemed Mr. Bruce Kulick about coming on to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Kiss Asylum, which is on Tuesday, and we are recording that interview on Saturday. So tomorrow, if you're using your math, if you're listening to this today, or if you're hearing it or watching it tomorrow, probably going to be recording with Bruce while you're listening or watching. Unless you're on the Patreon, then you've already heard the show, because you get it first. Ad-free. It's glorious. Do it. Only $5 a month. 20 subscribers right now. Big time, baby. And working up towards that goal of 500. So there is that. What else do we got going on? Nothing on the docket right now, except for in November 13th, the day before the Kiss Cruise Landlocked takeover thing here in Vegas. I am hosting the Casablanca official pre-party. And One Last Kiss will be playing. The Bones will be playing. I'm hosting, emceeing, and it's going to be a great time. So if you're coming in for the Kiss Fest, which Black and Blue will be on, one of the reasons I wanted to get Jamie on so we could promote that and talk about that. Come on down. Tickets are selling fast. I know all the reserve seats are gone. standing room only. It is a place called Dive Bar here in Las Vegas, not far from the hotel. So get here, go there, have a glorious, glorious, glorious time. It is going to be a blast. I think we have Soundcheck Live coming up too. Not this month, next month for sure. I would hope. I would believe. So if that happens, I'll be in LA. I'll be in Hollywood doing what I do. Oh, what else do we got, kids? I don't think we have much. Just hit up izzypresley.com. All my links are there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, the YouTube, the YouTube link, the Izzy Presley Network. Hit all that shit up and join the family. And appreciate you guys being, and tell your friends. Share the show. Share the show. So there is that. I don't know what else I got. I say we just jump into it. We're going to take a short little break. Hear the beautiful voice of Mike Dawson reading some Kiss lyrics. And we'll be right back with Jaime St. James of Black and Blue, talking everything Black and Blue, talking about the brand new 2-song EP, Song Bruiser. Right after this on another effing podcast.
A reading from the book of Paul, verse Animalize, chapter Under the Gun. Yeah, there's no speed limit where I'm coming from. Let's hit the highway, doing 69. Praise be to Paul.
That is Lifeline, brand new Black and Blue. Black and Blue, however the fuck you want to say it's and blue. Joining me,
you say it just like you say rock and roll.
Rock and roll, Black and Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me, Jaime St. James, the face, the man, the myth, the legend. Love the new songs, dude. So this is like a 2-song EP.
Yeah,
correct?
You know what? I mean, there are no rules anymore, and we could look. We financed it ourselves, so we went in and did 2 songs proper, and I think they came out fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. So, what is the story behind these songs? Now, from what I heard, these are old songs that you wrote with Tommy, but Tommy's not on them now.
Correct. Lifeline was written in 1984, but didn't make it on a record.
Mm-hmm.
The Real Mr. Green was written in 1985, did not make it on the record. Sometimes songs don't make it on a record because of the record company, the producer. Mm-hmm. There's weird things. Our biggest song when we were playing the LA scene in 1982 was a song called Violent Kid. And we got signed to Geffen Records, and they said, there's no way that song's going on the record. Why? It was our most popular song. So it's a crazy thing. So anyway, they didn't make it. And so we just had demo versions of it. So here in 2025, we decided, actually because of Patrick Young, he wanted to do it. And I said, why not? Let people know we're still alive. So we recorded them. And with the new band, it's me, Patrick Young on bass, Pete Holmes on drums, and our 2 new guitarists, Mick Caldwell and Brandon Cook.
And Brandon's not really new, though. He's been with me for a long time. Yeah,
I think like maybe 13, 14 years or something.
Yeah, he's been with me as long as I've known you guys.
There you go.
Did you talk to Tommy when you found these? Was there any talk about having him possibly play on them?
No, we wanted to purposely let the new guitarist take the reins on guitar. But I did talk to Tommy and told him we wanted to do it just to get his okay, because he's half the song. Him and I wrote the songs together, so I wanted to make sure he's cool. But he didn't want, he just go ahead, guys, do it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, because nobody knows what's going to happen with him now, now that he's quote unquote retired.
Well, I know what's happening with him, but I can't tell.
Well, there you go. No, you said you financed the stuff yourself.
Yeah.
You only put out 2 songs. And I was talking to a cat by the name of Keith Roberts on the Blue Cruise, and he's with this band called the Young Dubliners, and they have a new record coming out in March. And he said the way you do it is you have to release singles now, because if you put out a full record, you can't it doesn't count as singles when you release the singles.
Well, he knows more about it than I do, but I tell
Yeah.
you what, for us, it was just financially, we could only afford
Right.
to do the 2 songs. Black and Blues never released something that sounded shitty. Can I swear on this thing?
It's called Another Fucking Podcast, brother.
That is right. Why am I asking a question? Stupid fucking question. We've never released anything that sounded bad. So we wanted to make sure we went into a really good studio. People say, well, you can do it all you can do a bunch of songs, home recordings. That's not the way we do things. We need big equipment, big sound. So we did it right. So here's the way it works, kids. If enough people download this thing, you buy it, it's only $5. I mean, come on. And then if we make our money back, then maybe we'll do more, because people say, what about a record? What about, more? Well, you'll get more if we can, sell enough of this. And we're not trying to get rich off it. Nobody's gonna. But if it pays for itself, we'll do more.
In this day and age, it's like there's some artists, they don't even want to do new music because people just want to hear the hits.
Yeah.
And some people are just like, well, fuck it. It's what I do. Where are you guys on? I mean, obviously you got the 2 new songs, but what's your mentality on that whole situation?
I personally love, one of my favorite things about music is I'm a songwriter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was a drummer for many, many years. I learned to play guitar before I learned to play drums. I knew I wanted to write songs. So for me, to sit in a studio and hear this thing come alive, this creation, there's nothing more exciting and nothing better to me. So I love new music. It's just, how do you make it financially work?
Right.
And I think Black and Blue, look, if there was a good record company involved that really had, their stuff together, and Black and Blue could do a full record with, I would do it, and probably I would have Tommy and I write all the music, because that would really be Black and Blue. But I just don't see it happening. So this is the best we can do. And, I love new music. I do. And I'm going to be creating new music. And it's going to be a different interview. But okay. I love new music. But I can't talk too much about what I've got going on besides this. But for now. But we'll get together again. But right now we're on with Black and Blue. Got 2 new songs out, and they sound fantastic. So go check them out. That's what I got to say.
No, absolutely, and it's called Song Bruiser.
Yeah,
and it's just digital right now. You don't want to do any CDs or anything. Just no physical product. Just
not now. You can download it. Maybe one day we'll release a CD if there's enough songs. This is not a CD; it's 2 songs. And I came up with that. I said, well, we'll sell them together, and it'll be a 2-song bruiser. And if we sell them individually, it'd be a 1-punch wonder.
But much like me, which is a 1-stroke wonder.
Oh,
that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes, sir, it is.
It's funny, Jamie. You remember when we first met?
First time? He must have been on a cruise.
It was on a cruise. It was in the Pisser.
Oh, really?
Yep. I think it was the first Monsters of Rock cruise.
I was on it. Yeah.
Yep. It was in the Pisser on the first Monsters of Rock cruise.
Oh, that's funny. I've seen you on every cruise. I've been on a lot of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So you said you started out as a drummer, you started playing guitar, but we have to dive into Cold Gin.
Oh, okay.
And
I'll do it.
What year did you start doing Cold Gin? That was you and Tommy.
Well, I wasn't. There was a version of Cold Gin before me.
Okay.
And I don't know who. I think Anthony White, who was the Paul Stanley, was playing drums, and they were just playing music. And then Anthony wanted to get out front and sing and play his Flying V. So Tommy said, I know a guy that can play drums. And so they called me, and I said, I'll go and jam, because I love Kiss, man.
Yeah.
So I went down and I played drums, and we did it. It was just 4 of us. And I said, well, I'll do it under one condition. We put on the makeup. I go, if we're going to do this, we may as well put the makeup on. And I said, we'll either be the Kings of Hollywood or the Goats. And I ain't no fucking goat. So long story short, and this was in the 90s. So,
okay.
yeah. So we played a show. We had the full makeup, Kiss t-shirts and leather pants or something like that,
Yeah.
And it just, music was so good. We played the songs really well,
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine, Tommy on guitar and all the guys were great. And it just went down crazy because you got to remember something. In 93, whatever it was, there wasn't any tribute bands. That really didn't exist. There was the Atomic Punks and Cold Gin. And I remember, eventually, after the first show, I said, we all said, we got to get the costumes, and we got costumes. We had the boots made by the guy that made Kiss's boots, this Italian guy, Di Fabrizio, I think his name was, something like that. But anyway, and then we would play our shows and people just went nuts. Gene and Paul would come to every show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were there. They were always there because they thought it was fantastic. They had never seen that,
Wow.
So we were pretty big. We toured the country. We toured Japan. And we did a lot. And it was really good.
What was it like playing Peter's parts? Because Peter, sometimes people shit on Peter, but I'm like, no, don't shit on Peter, because it's like Ringo Starr and Peter Criss are the most two shit on drummers, but two of the most influential drummers that this world has ever seen.
Well, you're right about that. And I wouldn't shit on either one of them. And I tell you what, Peter Criss has a style, and it was perfect for Kiss, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I happened to be stuck in the 70s as a drummer because in 1981, I became a lead singer with Black and Blue. So I am a 70s drummer. So I played that stuff right on the money, So he's a really interesting, great drummer. And he was perfect for that band. I say perfect, And I love all of Kiss. When I toured with Kiss in 85, Eric Carr was on the drums, and Eric Carr did a great job. He was amazing. But that classic Kiss sound with Ace and Peter, you just can't beat it. I saw Kiss live in 1975. Rush was opening up. It was at a little theater called the Paramount Theater. Well, whatever, holds 1,200 people or something. I was 15 years old, and I walked out of that place. You got to remember something. In 74, I bought the first album. I bought it because of the cover. I said, I don't know what this is, but I got to have this. I took it home and I played it. I didn't even know who was the singer, who's the drummer. I didn't know nothing. It didn't tell you.
Yeah.
And I saw them in 75, and I walked out of that place going, it was blown away. And I remember going home thinking a little depressed because I thought, I don't know how anybody could ever top that. How can anybody ever do anything better than that? It was amazing. Really was. So anyway, I'm a big fan. Peter was great.
You said you toured with Kiss in 85. That would have been the Asylum tour, correct?
That's correct.
And it's ironic because tomorrow I'm recording with Bruce for the 40th anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Of Kiss Asylum. What do you remember about that tour? What do you remember about touring with Kiss?
Well, it was pretty amazing because in 84, I got my first dream come true. I toured opening for Aerosmith for months, for two months. And that's an amazing thing. And then the next year, Without Love comes out, and I'm on tour with Kiss. So these are two of the biggest bands of my life, I got very lucky. And I remember it being a blast. What I remember most about the tour was going to their sound check every day. Because I'm in the arena. We played arena. And I'd go out there and just sit, just me, and Paul would say, Jamie, what do you want to hear today? And he would play anything, and sometimes Bruce didn't know it, but they would play me whatever. And I'd say, got to choose, and they'd play it, they'd play like a piece of it for me. And the very last day of the tour, I'm sitting out there like I did almost every goddamn day. And Paul goes, hey, Jamie, check this out. And Kiss played with the song Without Love. And Paul's singing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was one of the coolest things anybody's ever done for me. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that's way before cell phones, so there's no record of it.
Just
your memory.
Yeah, that's right. Hope I don't get Alzheimer's.
Yeah, right. Jamie, where'd you grow up?
Portland, Oregon.
That makes sense. Now, I should have known that, considering most of the guys live there. How old were you when you made the jump to go to Hollywood?
I drove down to Hollywood when I got my driver's license at 16 years old.
Okay.
Borrowed a friend's Pinto station wagon, green with wood paneling on the side, and drove 1,000 miles to Los Angeles and looked at what was going on. The big thing going on was the Starwood. Quiet Riot was playing the Starwood with Randy Rhoads on guitar. Things were happening in LA, and this is 1976. And I knew that's where I had to be. We formed Black and Blue in Portland, Oregon. Everybody's an Oregon-born guy. And I said, guys, we're moving to Los Angeles. There's no way around it. And I had come down throughout the years, seeing what's going on with other bands. I had a band called Movie Star. Me and Tommy were in that. We did showcases for Warner Brothers. I kept pushing it. And finally, it clicked with Black and Blue. I knew that was the place to be.
What was your first impressions when you pull into Hollywood, when you pull into LA? What goes through your mind, especially in 1976?
Yeah, I can tell you what I remember vividly is we got into Los Angeles I'm 16 years old, and it's like very early in the morning. The sun is just coming up. And we just knew find Sunset Boulevard. That's all we knew. We had no idea what's going on. And I remember driving down Sunset Boulevard. This huge, big red ball of the sun was coming up, rising in the sky. And I'm on Sunset Boulevard. The first thing I see is a huge billboard, an angel billboard for Casablanca Records.
Yeah.
Angel. And the sun's burning in my eyes. I'm going, oh my God, this is my home. This is where I gotta be.
So what year is it when you finally moved?
We moved down to Los Angeles permanently, I think, in 1982.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it was just
we were signed in 83.
Wow, just that quick.
Yeah, we started playing shows. We formed the band in 81. Started playing shows in 82 and 83. We were signed. 84, the first record came out.
Jesus, it's amazing just to imagine how that is. I mean, what was it you think got you guys noticed? The reason I asked this question, so like when I had Pat Fontaine from XYZ on, they got found because he was in his car blasting the demo for Inside Out, and the guy in the next car happened to be a record guy, and he heard it and asked him, what the fuck is that? And that's kind of how XYZ got their bump.
That's crazy. Honestly, we got a manager named Garo, who's a really great guy. Love him. He's passed away now, but he got us a place to live because we were just sleeping on couches at a friend's house. We had nowhere to live. And he got us a house and put a little money into us as far as advertisement. And that's when things started to change. We would play the Troubadour, the Roxy, the Country Club back then. We'd play all the places, and suddenly there was lines around the block. We just were making noise. And a woman from Geffen named Carol Childs came and saw us and said, I'm going to sign that band. John Kalodner said, no, you're not. I'm the rock guy here. So he we did a special show for Kalodner, and this was in 83 at the Troubadour. And it was packed because all our shows were packed. Look, 8 months before that, we had 6 people in the room, and 3 of them were our girlfriends, and one of them was Ron Keel. So,
of course, it was Ron Keel.
It was. I'm not kidding. It's true.
Oh, I know. I believe you.
And
I love Ron Keel.
Yeah, I love Ron. And so when Kalodner came down and saw that show, we walked up the stairs to the dressing room, and he was standing at the top and said, welcome to Geffen. That's it. Yeah.
What goes through your mind when you hear those words? And how nerve-wracking was you knowing that that's what you were doing that night?
I just went and did my thing, you know. I knew it. I had a lot of energy back then, and I just went out and just killed it. And I knew that it would work. But when I heard those words, it's just the strangest thing, because when I was young, to get a real record deal, those real record deals don't really hardly exist anymore.
Right.
But to get that's called you made it, you know. I just knew that I came to the next level, and that's a whole nother story, and a whole nother ballgame. But it was an amazing moment in my life. And here's the funny thing. Okay, you're gonna appreciate this.
Yeah.
John Clodner had a huge beard, ZZ Top style.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he's at the time, welcome to Geffen, and I'm so excited. I hug him so hard. I pull back, and my skull earring got stuck in his friggin' beard. And I decorated his beard like a Christmas tree. And I pulled it out and I go, oh, my fucking earring. And I pulled it out of his beard. That's how that's the first thing. That's a total Jamie thing to happen.
Well, of course. Well, you just said that, this is a whole other story and it just goes from there. I mean, let's go there. I mean, what do you?
Well, everything changes, and you have the best opportunities and you also get messed with, it's like, well, you don't get to put this song on your record. You do that. You mean the first album cost $300,000, right?
Jesus Christ.
They're a bank, right? So they say, here's the money. Go to Germany with Dieter Dierks. Go ahead and do your thing. But we're going to tell you this and they'll tell you that. And you're going to be able to do this and you can't do that. It's weird. And so it's a different world, and you're not as in control as you wish you could be because you're just 23 years old. I don't even know, I'm just so grateful to be there. I don't know how to fight anything, Right. I just I don't want to blow this, So it's very strange.
Are they talking about like bringing in writers to help? Are they talking about any of that stuff? It was just still all you guys.
It was all us. They weren't worried about it because they knew we had good songs, and but it was, we don't like this song and we don't like what you're saying here. I mean, we had on the second album, we had a song called Blame It on the Neighborhood, and it was really cool. And they said, no, you're not saying those lyrics. Okay, so now what am I gonna do? So it turned into a song called Swing Time, which is on that record. Okay. But initially it was called Blame It on the Neighborhood, and it was really cool. So you just kind of had to, how do you fight people that are giving you all this money to get you into this position of to the possibility of being huge, you're walking a weird line. And if I was older, I might have been known how to fight it better, but I didn't know. I was a kid.
Yeah. Do you guys have your masters now?
We don't own anything, but I think after so many years you can, but it's all owned by Universal Music, bought everything from Geffen. And it is a real pain in the ass to try to get that worked out. Costs a lot of money. Lawyers are expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've talked with Tommy about that. How can we get our stuff back, but I'm not sure it's going to be possible for us,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think they even exist? Because they had that big fire and a lot of people have lost so much stuff.
That is true. And nobody knows. And, there was a time period when Black and Blue cassettes, albums, very few CDs. We didn't even have a CD for the first few records. They weren't big enough yet. But they were going for huge money on eBay. So that's when Universal said, we're going to put out the best of Black and Blue, and it's called the Ultimate Collection. And they did that in 2002 or something like that. So that was released. And since then, that fire has happened. I don't know if anything exists anymore. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a lot of people that are in the same position as you. They don't know because they can't get in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question. I don't know.
The other stuff was eventually released on CD, correct?
Everything was released on CD in Japan. Okay. And there was a box set that was released that had all 4 records and a DVD of our Japan show in 1984. So that was released, and after that, and then the best of came out in 2000 something, and then that's it. Nothing else has ever been released.
Wow.
And we're not in control of it. We were never in control of it.
Right. I mean, so if you guys actually wanted to do a Black and Blue box set yourself, you would have to get permission from Universal to go ahead and do that. Was there ever any talk about that?
Not really. It's very hard to get that stuff figured out. I'm just a guy that likes to play music, I'm not all, I don't know all the rules and regulations and how you do that. And we need a lawyer, and we would need to, I mean, if we wanted to fight to do it, we probably could, but it takes money to do that. Yeah. Is it going to be worth it? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do you still have demos
Oh yeah.
from back then? You have the
Oh, yes,
demos,
I do.
you just don't have the
That-
masters. Yeah,
I have.
You could do something with the demos though, right?
Yeah, we could, but that's what we just did. We
Yeah,
re-recorded 2 demos and released them now this way on Bandcamp thing. Now, by the way, let me just say, so you can go on social media, all of our social medias, and get directed to that Bandcamp thing to buy that. But I have huge box of cassettes from those years of all kind of songs that were never put on a record. We have a ton. We did a lot of writing, so there's more,
Yeah. Was there any covers that were ever recorded?
Covers. Yes. We did a song that everybody knows. It's My Life.
Yep.
It was a Paul Stanley song. I think Wendy O. Williams did it.
Gene, I think. I think it was a Gene wrote it.
Was it a Gene song?
It was a Gene song, yeah.
It's my life and I do what I want.
Because it was supposed to be on Creatures. And they didn't do it for Creatures, and then they gave it to Wendy.
Right. Well, we recorded that. Black and Blue recorded that song.
Oh, wow.
We recorded it when we were doing In Heat. And it's on those masters somewhere. That song was, I think, pretty much done, but we don't know how to get it. We had a song that we completely did during those same sessions called Survival with Ted Nugent on guitar.
Oh, wow.
Me and Tommy wrote the song with Ted Nugent, and Ted Nugent's playing all the guitar. It's done. And it's in the vault somewhere from the sessions. Yeah. We also did a Bryan Adams song.
Really?
Yeah. You Walked Away Again, it was called. And we did that song, and it's again it was shelved. So that's all owned by Universal Music, actually. They'll never do anything with it.
When did you get the feeling that it was going to come to an end?
Well, I never think it was going to end until it did. We were dropped by Geffen in 1989, and I still didn't think it was over. Gene Simmons decided to manage us, and we were going to put out a record on Simmons Records. And then Tommy quit. When Tommy quit, I knew it was done.
Was that hard for you?
Oh yeah, yes. We formed the band together.
Yeah.
And without him, I just thought, well, I can't do it. I'm not going to go. I don't want to do it without him. So when I formed a band called Freight Train Jane and got a Japanese deal and started doing that stuff. Yeah, it was very hard.
When did you get the warrant call?
I got 2004.
Okay.
And they called and said, "Hey, we need a singer, and we thought of you, and we're going to audition guys and stuff. Do you want to do it? And you want to give it a shot?" And I was living in Oregon at the time, working on the album Hell Yeah that Black and Blue released on Frontiers. So I said, okay. They flew me down to Los Angeles. I was only living in Portland for about a year at that time because I wanted to do that record.
Yeah.
And I learned 5 songs. And I went down there. There was a different drummer, but Joey Allen said, "Hey, if Saint's going to come and sing, I'll come and help you guys." He wasn't in the band.
Okay.
Joey Allen was not in the band. Stephen Sweet was not in the band.
Okay.
Eric and Jerry are the ones that contacted me. So I learned 5 songs. I learned Down Boys, Heaven, Cherry Pie, I think Uncle Tom's Cabin, and another one. And I just went down and sang and just nailed it. And I thought to myself, I sounded pretty good at that. And then I went home. And a week or so later, they called me and said, "We want you." I said, "Oh boy, okay, let's do it." And here's the hard part about it was, they said, "Okay, we have a show, so you got to learn the rest of the set, and it's in Daytona Bike Week. 5,000 people. We're opening for Night Ranger, and we're not going to tell anybody that we're replacing Jamie. You're just going to come out and sing." I was like, "Fuck me." Are you kidding me? I said, "What? Why aren't you going to say anything?" "Well, we don't want to tell the promoter. We're not going to let them know."
Yeah.
So I have to go out and do my first show when nobody's even expecting me. Really weird.
What was the reception like? Did people notice? Did people care?
Well, I was sitting on there was some stairs back in the back to get up to on the stage, and I'm just sitting there sweating and going, "Oh God, this is not a good position to be in." Jack Blades saw me, and he came over and he started rubbing my shoulders and saying, "Jamie, don't worry, you got this. You got it. You could do this. Black and Blue toured with Night Ranger a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
And so he knew me, and I said, thanks, Jack. You know, and I went up, and the first song, Down Boys, boom, we opened up with it, or it was Sure Feels Good. One of them we opened up with. And
great song.
Yeah. And I was blank. I was in a weird fog because I thought, what am I doing here? You know? And by the second or third song, the crowd was nuts. It was great. It went over great. I remember walking back to our dressing room after the show and saying, good God, it worked, you know?
Yeah. Was it, did it feel natural? Did it feel right? Did it feel weird?
It felt weird, but the thing I would have said no if my voice didn't sound right. You know, I can't sing certain bands, you know. If it was Cinderella, I can't sing Cinderella.
Yeah.
I can't do that. But Warrant, it worked. I sounded good. And I have some old DVDs of some of the shows we did. And I listened back to them years later and I go, hey, that was really good. That was good. You know, I had a couple of clunky shows, but for the most part, I was real good.
Well, it's fucking rock and roll. Clunky shows happen. You know?
It was a fun ride. It really was. I had a good time.
When that ended, what was it like for you when that run ended?
Well, Janie came back.
Yeah.
And they just said, we're going to have Janie back because we can, you know, there's a certain booking agency that said it would give us a lot of money if we, sad in a certain way for me because, when you're in a band and you're playing 60 shows a year, it's kind of like, I'm out, you know, it's weird.
Yeah.
But of course, Janie should be the singer of the band, you know, of course, you know. So, yeah, you know, it was look, I'm still friends with those guys. It's all good.
Yeah. When did you put Black and Blue back together?
When I got a record deal, just me in England, and I called up Jeff Warner because he had a recording studio, and I thought maybe I'll take the money and record there. And then I started thinking about it. I go, why don't we make it a Black and Blue record instead of Jaime St. James, you know? And then it just went from there. Let's call Pete, let's call Pat, you know. Tommy was busy in Kiss, you know.
Right. But you had a conversation with him about it.
I can't remember. It was a while ago. I might have talked with Tommy. Look, Tommy and I have always been friends all throughout the whole thing. I've never been more proud of anybody in my life than seeing Tommy on stage with Kiss.
Absolutely.
I just look up there with joy and just love it. I love Tommy, you know. So I don't know if I talked to him. I probably did, but it was all new music, you know. And I did, of course, because I was over at his house and I told him what I was writing the song. And he goes, why don't you call the song Hell Yeah? And I go, you're getting writing credit for that one because I will call it Hell Yeah. So yeah, it's hard. My memory's not so great, you know.
No, it happens. It happens when we get longer in the tooth.
Yes.
When's the last time you had short hair?
When I was probably 6.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You ever thought about cutting the mop off?
No, I won't. No, hell no. When I was a little kid, I used to my dad would take me to a barber shop, proper barber shop. And I'd go in there and I'd say, give me a beetle cut. And they'd shave all the sides down. I had a little thing on the top. It was called a regular. Boring as that. Yeah. So finally one day I went in there and I said, give me a beetle cut. And he said, son, you don't have enough hair for a beetle cut. And I said, boom, I'm never cutting it again. And by the time I was in like 6th, 7th grade, I had long hair. When I was in high school, my hair was exactly like this.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I ain't cutting it. And I said, it's just me now, you know. I mean, I'm lucky that I have so much hair. I'm 65 years old. Look at this. Look at this. You know, but it's funny because now I put, whenever we advertise for one of our shows we're going to play, I say, no backing tracks, no wigs.
Fucking brilliant. Yeah, let's talk about the tracks. Obviously you're anti-track. But I think, I mean, there's spots for it, like keyboard parts, not bringing a full orchestra with you, shit like that. But I mean, a live show should be a live show.
I really like live, and I'll tell you where it changes is when the drummer has to wear headphones or in-ears, and there's a click track because they have to stay steady. That means you've got tracks running and you can't get off of it, and that's when it just is not a band to me. But look, Black and Blue, we have 2 tracks. One of them is a car for auto blast, and the other is the intro to Stop the Lightning. Stop the lightning. So those it. And Pat always says, "Where are the tracks? Turn up the tracks." I go, "Stop saying tracks." God damn it. I call it, where's the tape? Where's the intro tape? Call it something else. But I'm not a fan of it. It should be real. And we don't do that. And I know there's a lot of bands that do. And I think it's kind of cheating and it's kind of odd. But I wouldn't mind. At a certain point, we started playing "I'll Be There for You." That's a video that we actually had on MTV. Jonathan Cain wrote the song. We recorded it for a movie, and they ended up geffing. Again, it's one of those things. It's going on the record, and it's the single. But it was for a movie. It doesn't even fit Nasty Nasty.
Right. What movie was it for?
It was for a movie called Out of Bounds with Anthony Michael Hall. And nobody probably remembers it or knows it.
I saw that.
Did you?
Film. Yeah.
It was supposed to be in that movie, and they said, no, we're going to put it on the record. Forget it. Jonathan Cain wrote it and produced it. We went to the studio just with Jonathan Cain, not with Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons was producing with Nasty Nasty at that time. Yeah. They put it on Nasty Nasty, and then we had no choice. But it had a keyboard part in it, intro, this thing, and we used that. But it's just an intro again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even back, Jesus Christ, it was, I think the first time I interviewed Jeff LeBar, God bless his soul, maybe it was before the first Monsters cruise, and somehow that came up, and Jeff's just like, yeah, there's a lot of bands out there using what he called pixie dust or fairy dust is what they, and we're not one of those bands. It's like, even back in 2012, it was still a thing.
Yeah. It's look, I saw a concert recently. I went to see Shinedown, and I know they use all kind of tracks and stuff, but I still enjoyed the show. It's not for me. And I will say it on stage, you're going to hear all the bruises and cuts and slashes, and it's going to get ugly. And, every mistake we make, but it's real. If you want it perfect, put on the CD. But I just think live should be live, and that's me. Everybody's different. I don't have anything against people that do it. I know bands that do it, and it's fine. Okay. All right, that's you, not me.
Right. So coming up here, you will be in Vegas in November for the Kiss Cruise Landlocked.
Right.
Landlocked Kiss, or however the exact wording is. I should probably have that down by tomorrow when I have Bruce on. When did you get the call? I mean, what can we expect?
Well, actually, Tommy called me and said, you need to talk to this person because they want you for this thing. And I guess it came about because Doc McGee was doing a Kiss super fan meeting, convention, whatever it is, and said, who should be on the next Kiss thing? What bands? And Black and Blue kept getting brought up. So he said, Black and Blue it is. And so their production company that's doing this thing, I talked to the guy and said, we want you. So I said, okay, let's do it, and then it just it went from there. But I call it the Kiss event. Well, I don't know, okay. Landlocked Cruise. There you go. But it's a Kiss Vegas event, is what I say. It's going to be fun. Kiss always does a good job. We did a Kiss Cruise, and they do a fantastic job, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast.
Well, what can you, Tommy is going to be playing with you guys for a couple songs at least, correct?
Yeah. He's going to jump up on stage with us probably for the last 3 or 4 songs, So that's always fun,
Yeah. You've done that. Obviously you've done that before.
Yeah. We played like, Black and Blue has played charity events for, raise money for Pete Holmes, our drummer. His wife had cancer and unfortunately passed away, but we did a benefit for her, got her a bunch of money to try to help her. But unfortunately she passed away from it, and we did some charity events for Patrick Young's brother, Jeff Young, who has ALS. and I think we bought him we got him a van and a wheelchair setup. We've done a lot, and Gene Simmons was involved in all that.
Oh, nice.
But every time Tommy has played with us, we've played with him periodically.
Right. Well, speaking of the tribute world, you are still in the tribute world. You're still doing Cheaper Trick, right?
I am doing it. I'm going to tell you why I do it. Number one, Robin Zander is my favorite vocalist of all time.
He's a god.
And these guys called me and said, "You want to do?" They had a girl singer before me. They were called In Color, and
Okay.
I said, "Well, cheap trick. I will go and let's see how this works." So it sounded good. And number two, I have to sing. If I don't sing, my voice withers away. So I don't play a lot of shows with Black and Blue. What do we do? 6, 7 shows a year if we're lucky. So this keeps my voice in check. And what a way to do it by singing Robin Zander. I mean, I love it. And I just love Cheap Trick, and I love Robin Zander. Like I say, he's my favorite singer. So it's a no-brainer, and it keeps me in shape.
How hard is it? Because I mean,
Hard.
Xander's. I mean, he's a freak of nature.
Yes, he is, and it is hard. It's very hard, especially if we have to do 90-minute show.
Oh.
Like, God damn, this is going to be hard. Now, it's not easy at all, but it's fun, and I get to play a little guitar when I do it, so it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, because you were supposed to do the Flame with us on the boat that one year,
That's right.
and circumstances happened or whatever. How are you sober now?
Yeah.
How long has it been?
2.5 years.
Okay. How does it feel?
It feels good, to be honest with you. It's weird because the first year is such a struggle and strangeness, and first it's really weird. And how do you go like on a cruise like that and all this? But after a while, it starts to become it's not a problem. Right. It's really good. It's really good. I recommend it.
Did you go to rehab, or did you just?
Okay. Well, I went to a place where they gave me an injection of something called Vivitrol.
Okay.
And so when you're drinking for years, your brain stops making dopamine. This is how it's explained to me. So this kind of counteracts that, because that's the only way you feel good is with the dopamine, right? So if you have a drink, you feel good, but your brain stops making it. So this Vivitrol drug makes you not have to go there. And I was on that for about 8 months, and it works. It's and then your brain kind of readjusts, and all of a sudden you can be happy again. I'm not an expert, man, but I do think that life is better without all that.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're healthy. That's the most important thing.
It is, and I mean, it's you could when you first start to even think about that, if you like drinking and stuff, you think, I'm never gonna have fun again. It's gonna suck. Nah, you're gonna be fine. You just gotta takes a little time.
You see, my problem is I just love beer.
Well, if you don't have a problem, you don't have a problem.
There's that. Plus, I got that some bitch behind me. You've seen the son bitch. Yeah. He's a bad influence.
I noticed it was back. I noticed he's back.
Of course. He's the goddamn son bitch. Jamie, people want to find you. People want to find the band. They want to find the links to the Song Bruiser. Where can they go?
Go to our Facebook. Go to Black and Blue Facebook. Jaime St. James Facebook. blackandblueofficial.com. Go anywhere. It's on Bandcamp. And so there's links on all the social media, Twitter, all that. They'll shoot you right there. Just spend $5 and buy this thing, and maybe we'll do some more.
I love it, man. I love it. And like you said, there's stuff. You just can't talk about it.
There is more going on in my life, and it's very exciting. But yeah, it's for another time to talk about. It's too soon.
All right. I love it. Hold on. I'm going to hit my outro music here, and I'm just going to hold you with me while I do my outro. Then we'll say goodbye off the air. Hold on. I have to wait for this program to load. Come on now. Oh, here he comes. Here it comes. Come along now, children. This is what we call producing on the fly when you're not ready for something. Come along now, children. Come. Oh, it's loading. It's loading. And of course, I'm going to leave this whole goddamn thing in here because fucking rock and roll, right?
Izzy, you're awesome. You are awesome.
Hey, I do my best. Here we go. And there we go. I can hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been another fucking podcast. Jaime St. James Black and Blue. Thank you. This is the first time, or second time. The first time was I think it was a Cheap Trick show or a Kiss show. I can't remember.
We got together on a Zoom for the Van Halen deal.
That was Van Halen. There it is.
Yes.
There it is. But I'm glad I finally got you on for a real interview, and there will be more to come when all your fun stuff starts happening that you can finally talk about.
I'll hold you to it. We'll do it.
I look forward to it. And of course, on Tuesday, Bruce Kulick talking about the 40th anniversary of Kiss Asylum, and to me, that's the best thing they put out past Love Gun. So I'm fucking excited.
Great record.
I am excited. Make sure you guys hit up the Patreon. It's only $5 a month. Get the shows before everybody. Get them ad-free and everything. IzzyPresley.com. My new comedy special is out on YouTube. It's only 5 minutes. 5 minutes live. Recorded live on the Mountain Music Festival. And until Tuesday, my name is Izzy Presley. This has been another effing podcast. I'm the host of the program. And don't forget, what I lack in talent, I make up for in the cock.
Excellent, man.